funky and tiptoe with our words and say we're rejecting. We are failing to reject the null hypothesis. It's just like that. We can't say that they're dependent. Instead, we say they are not independent.
Got to be picky with your wording.
Yes. And yeah, it makes sense once you get really deep into stats. Like we had that discussion about how saying a snake is poisonous versus a snake is venomous.
Yeah.
unless you're a wilderness survivor or like a biologist or stuff, for the most part, people are just going to be like, oh, that means the snake is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get really high into the field, it's a world of difference if you're a wilderness survivor and knowing whether a snake is venomous or whether it's poisonous. Because if it's venomous, you can use it as a food source. But if it's poisonous, then it's completely useless to you.
Ooh. It's interesting.
Okay. So the equation for computing the degrees of freedom, do you remember what this is?
Yeah, so it's number of rows minus 1 times number of columns minus 1.
Perfect. So degrees of freedom are
4.
So we've got number of rows is just 3. No, wait. Number of rows is 2. Minus 1 is 1. Number of columns is 3 minus 1, 2. So 2 times 1 is 3. I think, and I wouldn't blame you because I made this mistake when I was doing the homework quiz last night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing you put in the total column and the total row. Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I made that same mistake last night, and then I noticed, oh wait, if you look down in the Excel, it takes into consideration the totals for you. And so I was like, okay, I better take those out.
Okay.
So just remember the chi-squared test, the chi-squared test, it will take totals into consideration for you. You can see it down at the bottom of each column and to the right of each row. And then down below that where it expands even more so, like on the count, the expected count, and the percentages and stuff, you go to the right and it talks about the totals again. So you don't need to include the totals on this. The chi-squared sheet will do it automatically for you.
Okay, cool. It makes my job easier, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. What are the requirements? So this is, you must use a simple random sample. Oh wait,
that's one of them.
Are they met? So
yeah, so there's 2 requirements for the chi-squared. Well, simple random sample is one of them. Do you remember what the other one is?
Each expected count must be greater than or equal to 5.
Exactly.
Okay, so public opinion poll surveyed a simple random sample. Okay, so that's one requirement, yes. And then each expected count must be greater than or equal to 5. These are all greater than or equal to 5. So yes.
Yeah, usually they're giving us big numbers. I do remember that there is one that made me double check the reading because I couldn't remember if it was 5 or 10 because one of the counts was 6. But yeah, if it's equal or greater than 5, we're good to go.
Okay.
The value of the chi-squared.
There are at least 5 expected counts?
Yes, there are at least 5 expected. There are 5 expected. Oh, wait, hold on. How are they phrasing this? Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Because I totally think it's number 1, but now just the vocab, I'm like, huh.
Yeah, that's
because the expected counts. Yeah, there's expected counts, but I'm pretty sure you need to have actual observed accounts need to be 5 or greater. But the one that has 5 or greater says in at least 1 cell, but we need 5 counts in all the cells. So I'm not sure if that's a typo or if Sister Cook is being tricky.
She's always tricky. Tricky,
Let me
tricky.
double check. Let me double check the book. Okay. So the requirements. Must use a simple random sample. Each, oh, that's interesting. Okay. Each expected count must be greater than 5. So that means we can't just look at the table that we're given. We actually have to put the numbers in the table and then scroll down and look at the expected count.
Oh.
So do you see where that information is?
Yeah, I do. Okay.
Okay. So I got that one right on the homework, but I got it right just by luck. So
yeah.
I'm glad that this question was here to point that out. So it's not the amount of counts in a cell, it is specifically the expected counts. So the theoretical counts, I guess you could say, which means that we can't just look at the table. In order to figure out whether the requirements are on it, we have to plug in the numbers.
So it still looks like they're above 5.
Yeah, so we got 270, 270, 60, and then 180, 180, 40. That's what I'm counting. Is that what you're getting on your spreadsheet?
So I'm getting 270, 60, 180, 40, 450, 100.
Wait.
Let's see here.
A lot of those numbers were similar. I'm not sure if you're just going in different order or. So on the chi-squared test, it's got the table where we put the information in, and that's highlighted blue. So you see that, right?
Yes.
It says input observed counts. Then below the table, it's got more in-depth information for everything, and it's got things split up by column and row. And in the row cells, it says count, expected count, percentage within row, percentage within column.
Yes.
So we would want to look at the expected count. So moving left to right in row 1, I've got 270, 270, 60. And then going down to row 2 is 180, 180, 40. Is that what you're getting?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
Sweet. Cool.
Oh, and that's another thing. What is the chi-squared test statistic? So they made it nice by saying, what is the chi-squared test statistic? But that is another one you'll want to jot down on your sheet of notes for the test. Is that the test statistic for chi-squared is chi-squared. So that gives us how many so far? We got our z-score, our t-score, chi-squared, and I know I'm forgetting one. The f-score for ANOVA. Is there a fifth one, or have we only done 4 so far?
Let's see. We've done X bar, D bar. Wait, is that what you're talking about?
No, those aren't our test statistics. Those are like our means and stuff. So our test statistic, we calculate our test statistic, and our test statistic, if we know sigma, is going to be our z-score.
Yeah.
And if we don't know sigma, then it's the t-score. And in this case, it's chi-squared. And when we're doing ANOVA, it's the f-score, because that's just a huge, messy calculation that they give us. And I feel like there's a fifth one that we've gone over, but I can't remember it right now.
Yeah, I know. I remember F, T, Z. Now this one.
They'll probably pop up in the review. But yeah, just keep that in mind that chi-squared is the test statistic for this one.
Okay.
So if we're dealing with the test statistic, if we're dealing with a question on the test that involves a chi-squared, and it just says input the test statistic, know that that's asking for what is chi-squared in this instance. And luckily, we don't have to calculate it. We just go over in the Excel, look at, oh, in fact, it does, yeah. The Excel even has it listed as test statistic as opposed to chi-squared. So I'll make it easy.
So 16.204?
Yeah, that's what I got.
So
And
what is the
p-value?
P-value for this problem?
I got 0.000. Because P is 0.0003. Rounding down gives you just straight zeros. That's what I got.
Oh, mine says 0.0028, which would round to 0.003.
That's interesting. What's your t-score again? I mean, your test statistic?
Yes, 16.204.
Okay. That's interesting. Let's see. So, those test statistic, degrees of freedom, and you got just 2 zeros and then a number?
Yeah, so 0.0028. That's weird because we went through the whole expected counts and they were all the same.
That is weird because I'm getting 3 zeros. I got 0.0003.
That is super weird. Let's do yours.
Okay.
You said
yeah,
0.000 is what you got?
Yeah, so it just round to zeros. That's just interesting because we got the same test statistic, which, talking about correlation and causation, there's a huge correlation between test statistic and your p-value.
Yeah, that's super weird. I don't know.
Okay, which of the following statements best describes the outcome of this study?
Let's see.
What was the null? Let's see. So we're just checking to see if they are independent and not independent. So we're not looking for greater than or any specific party. So there is sufficient evidence to suggest that gender and voting preferences are not independent. That's what I'm getting.
Okay.
Because, let's see. The null hypothesis was that they're independent, but our p-value is tiny, so the last answer is not good.
Yeah.
There is not enough evidence to suggest, but we have enough evidence, so the middle answer is not good. And then the other two numbers are just saying things that we weren't even asking about.
Cool. All right, so okay,
chiropractic. Okay, so question 10, conditions for chi-squared are satisfied. I think this popped up in I swear this popped up in what's its face, the homework quiz. And so while it doesn't say it here, it says we will review the reasons of seeking chiropractic care with modified data. So I'm like,
oh, this was totally reading, yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally confident. I'm totally comfortable with this was a simple random sample because that's what I remember reading. So basically, we're just looking at expected counts then.
Okay.
I am not seeing any expected counts lower than 5. Are you?
Nope. Okay, so true. What is the degrees of freedom? I got 9.
9. What did you get? 9. I got 4 times 2.
I don't know. I put it in the thingy. So it would be, let's see.
You accidentally put in totals again?
Maybe. So 4 minus 1 is 3, and then 4 minus, oh wait. Number of rows, 4 minus 4, so 3 times 3. Wouldn't it be 9?
Wait. So 4.
Oh wait, I didn't put in a whole, I missed a whole row. Wait a
So
second.
we've got wellness, preventative health, at risk, sick, and self care, which is 5. So -1, 4.
Yeah.
And then locations, we've got Europe, Australia, United States. So 3 -1, 4 times 2, 8.
Yeah, I have so many windows up that the self-care was cut off. So
Oh, okay.
I got 12 now.
12. You've got to be putting in the totals again.
What the heck? So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you probably.
15? Wait a second. I'm doing this all. I don't know what I'm thinking.
So we've got. Oh. So we've got 3 locations: Europe, Australia, United States.
Oh,
So
sweet
just
mercy. I
-1.
am
We've got
all over
2.
the place.
Or were you looking at a different data set?
No, I was like not doing this right. Okay, wait a second. Okay, I got 8.
There we go.
Okay. Struggling. Okay, so 8. Okay. So it's going to be 7.436 our test system.
Yes.
And then our
That is.
p-value is going to be 0.490.
Yes.
Which of the following statements best describes the outcome of the study? So our p-value is bigger than our a, so we are going to fail to reject the null. So there's insignificant evidence.
Oh, wait, snap.
What's wrong?
Oh no, I've been having the window closed just so I can have the quiz and my Excel sheet up. And so I just barely opened it and I noticed that up in the corner you have the live on. So
yes,
I was just making sure after that.
I did. I remembered after we did like the first questions, I was like, "Oh freak!" And so I just started it.
I totally forgot about that too, and it just barely dawned on me. So I was like, "Oh, before we submit this, let's check real quick."
What?
But yeah, no, you're ahead of me. Okay. So insufficient evidence to suggest that motivation to visit a chiropractor is not independent of the location.
Yes, that's what I got.
Okay. Right. And that is 100. Okay.
Easy peasy.
Mhm.
Killing it.
I think she specifically gave us kind of some easy stuff to do the last week because we got to go bother people to flip some coins for us.
Yes, we do.
So.
Alrighty, well, I will see you next week, and we have a test that I won't be taking at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Good idea.
Oh man, not my brightest idea.
Okay.
Oh, God.
But yeah, go over the kind of just, I guess, browse through the textbook, and if you haven't done the homework, do the homework. And then if you have any questions, we can go over that on Tuesday and spend as much time as you need on Tuesday.
Cool. Alrighty.
Okay.
Enjoy your
Have a good weekend.
See ya.
See ya.